So, the finale of She-Hulk Attorney at Law dropped, and that means I can review it. And I got to say, I'm a sucker for these kind of shows. Let's go over the finale. The episodes start with like the intro of the old Hulk show with Louis Ferrigno, probably pronounced that wrong, sorry. And then we see that Jen has been locked up in the same cell that Emil Blonsky was in the beginning of the show. She gets to go, but she has to promise to not turn into She-Hulk. So she gets fired from her job because they only wanted She-Hulk, not Jen, and she moves back into her parents' home. Probably that's a bad start for Jen, but anyways, where she doesn't get enough space, so she goes to see Emil Blonsky. While her friend Nikki posts a video of Jen dancing in college and gets to go to the meeting with Intesalia, but she can't go because she's a girl and they hate girls, so she tells Puck to go and he does, but he goes with an earpiece, which no one asked any questions about, but anyways. While there, we find out that Todd is Hulk King and the Abomination, who has been transforming for some money, comes in. Then the signal between Nikki and Puck breaks and Jen goes in to see all the haters, and the email has transformed. Then Nikki rushes in, Titania rushes in, and Todd uses Jen's blood to transform himself into a Hulk to fight She-Hulk. The Abomination picks up Jen to save her, but then Bruce Banner all of a sudden falls from the sky and has a rematch with Emil Blonsky, and then everything stops and She-Hulk breaks the fourth wall and literally breaks Disney Plus, the Marvel screen.
Alright, let's see here. No, yeah, no. Marvel Assembled. That'll do.
And jumps into the Marvel Assemble show, which is the behind the scenes for the movie, where she talks to the writers of the show and wants to talk to Kevin. On her way to him, she has to fight some guards, which she does. And when she gets to him, we see that he is a robot, not gunfighting like I thought it was going to be. But there, she changes a lot of things. She hints at a Hulk movie, and she asks about the X-Men. And when this is all done, she gets back into the show, and Daredevil comes, but everything was done. But, she asked for him, so that she got what he wanted, or she wanted. Then it ends with a Fast and Furious type scene, where the family is eating and Bruce Banner comes, and we see Scar. I will probably make a video on him and World War Hulk, their storyline. But that was the episode. Not even kidding. It was, big one. Now let's talk about my nitpicks for the show. Like, for example, there wasn't really a plot in the show and I don't like that. The show had fillers like the wedding episodes that we just didn't need. But as I said earlier, I'm a sucker for these kinds of shows, so I loved it. Especially the last two episodes. They were fantastic in my opinion. The best episode was obviously with Daredevil. But now let's get to the rating of the show. For action, I would give it 2 stars because in the show there wasn't that much action, but it wasn't supposed to be, so it's okay. For comedy, I would give it 3 stars because I found myself laughing much in the show. For horror, it gets 0 stars, and that's obvious. It's not supposed to be anything close to horror. For drama, I would give it 1 star, nothing less, nothing more. And finally, suspense, and it gets 1 star as well. Here, with all the jokes, you can't really get into the show. There's jokes of obviously 5 minutes, there has to be a new joke. But that's a problem with basically all the MCU movies, so I don't really have to get into that. And finally, the final rating. I would have to give it 2.5 stars, which is good because, as I said many times, I'm a sucker for these kinds of shows. I love the creativity, and I know it has its flaws, but I still love it. But that's about it for now. Tell me down in the comment section down below your opinion on the show, and also if you want any reviews from me. That's it. Goodbye.
Oh, a normal amount of rage!
You do revert back to Gen form when you sleep.
Was the air horn really necessary?
For comedy, absolutely.